Before anyone else believes in you, you must believe in yourself. Before the world treats you with dignity, you must demand it from within. Because here's the truth most people never hear in this country of opportunity. The way America treats you is a mirror of how you treat yourself. Respect is not something you negotiate. It's not something you ask for. It's something you embody. Every time you say yes when your soul is screaming no, you teach the world how cheap your boundaries are. Every time you settle, tolerate, or stay silent, you send a message, this is what I'm worth. But the moment you decide enough is enough, something shifts. Your posture changes. Your voice changes. Your standards rise. And suddenly, life responds differently. In a nation built on freedom, courage, and self-made men and women, the greatest revolution you will ever start is the one where you finally look in the mirror and say, I matter. My time matters. My values matter. Because when you respect yourself first, you don't chase approval. You don't beg for validation. You attract opportunity, leadership, and power. This is where confidence is born. This is where success begins. This is where your life changes, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. So the question is not, will the world respect you? The real question is, do you respect yourself starting now? Let me tell you something that may feel uncomfortable, but if you lean in, it might change everything. At some point in your life, you learn to betray yourself. Not because you were weak, not because you didn't care, but because you were trying to survive. You learned to stay quiet when you should have spoken up. You learned to smile when something inside you was breaking. You learned to shrink so others could feel bigger. And slowly, quietly, without even realizing it, you made a deal with the world. I'll abandon myself if you'll accept me. And maybe it worked for a while. You kept the job. You stayed in the relationship. You avoided conflict. You told yourself this is just how life is. But deep down late at night, when the noise stops, you feel it. That ache, that heaviness, that voice whispering, this is not who you were meant to be. That voice is not weakness. That voice is self-respect trying to come home. Because here's what nobody told you growing up. Self-respect isn't loud. It doesn't kick the door down. It waits, patient, persistent, until you're finally ready to listen. Every human being has a moment, a breaking point, where the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. Maybe for you, it was the day you realized you were giving everything and receiving nothing. Maybe it was the moment you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize yourself anymore. Or maybe it was quieter than that. A slow realization that your life had become a performance and you forgot who you were performing for. You didn't lose yourself overnight. You lost yourself one compromise at a time. One time you said it's okay when it wasn't. One time you lowered your standards just to feel chosen. One time you accepted disrespect because you were afraid of being alone. And listen to me, this is important. None of that makes you broken. It makes you human. But staying there, that's a choice. And today, you get to choose differently. Because the truth is, people don't cross your boundaries by accident. They do it because they sense you won't stop them. Life will only rise to the level of the standards you are willing to enforce. And every time you don't enforce them, your nervous system learns a dangerous lesson. My needs don't matter. That belief doesn't just affect your relationships. It affects your confidence, your income, your health, your future. You can't build a powerful life on a foundation of self-abandonment. And here's the part that hits hard. The world doesn't need another exhausted, resentful, burned out version of you. The world needs the real you, the one who knows their worth and refuses to negotiate it. Self-respect is not arrogance. It's alignment. It's waking up and making decisions that your future self will thank you for. It's saying no without explaining. It's walking away without slamming doors. It's choosing peace over approval even when your hands are shaking. And yes, you will lose people when you start respecting yourself. But let me reframe that for you. You won't lose the right people. You'll lose the ones who benefited from you having no boundaries. And that loss, that's not rejection. That's liberation. Because the moment you stop begging to be seen, you become visible. The moment you stop chasing love, you become magnetic. The moment you stop tolerating disrespect, life introduces you to a higher standard. But it starts with a decision, a quiet one, a powerful one, a decision that says, I am no longer available for what dishonors me. I will not shrink to fit places that were never meant to hold me. I choose myself even if no one claps. And don't wait until you're confident to do this. Confidence comes after the action, not before it. You build self-respect by keeping promises to yourself, even the small ones. Get up when you say you will. Leave when it's no longer right. Speak when your voice shakes. Each time you do, you reclaim a piece of yourself. And one day, sooner than you think, you'll realize something incredible. People treat you differently. Opportunities find you. Your energy changes. Not because the world changed, but because you did. So if this feels like your story, let me leave you with this. You don't need permission to respect yourself. You don't need validation to choose yourself. You don't need to prove your worth. It was never in question. The only question is this: how much longer will you live a life that costs you your self-respect? Because the moment you stop abandoning yourself is the moment your real life begins. So let this be the moment you stop waiting. Not for an apology, not for closure, not for someone else to finally see your value. Let this be the moment you decide. Decide that you will no longer betray yourself to keep the peace. Decide that comfort is no longer worth your soul. Decide that from this day forward, your life will be built on truth, not tolerance. Because here's the real power move. When you respect yourself, you don't need to prove anything. Your presence speaks. Your boundaries speak. Your standards speak. And yes, some people will be confused when you change. Let them be. Your job is not to stay small so others feel comfortable. Your job is to rise so others remember what's possible. This is not about becoming someone new. This is about coming back to who you always were before the world taught you to doubt yourself. So stand up, breathe deep, look forward, and make this promise to yourself. Right now, I will not abandon me again. Because when you finally choose self-respect, you choose strength. You choose freedom. You choose a life that meets you at your highest level. And from this moment on, nothing will ever be the same.